As we practice meditation, we become more and more familiar with what it feels like in a deeply embodied way to abide in presence. And we also become more and more familiar, more sensitive to what it means in an embodied way to turn away from that presence. In the tradition of Kriya Yoga, abiding in presence is described mathematically as being in linear awareness. When we depart from that and the energies of our body-mind become angulated, then we get our consciousness fragments, our capacity to be present degrades, and we become lost in and identified with swirling patterns of emotion and thought, memory tracks of the past. They are unwitnessed. In a way, they are unloved, but they are deeply identified with. Rather than being aware of the imbalance arising, rather than being aware of the emotion arising and blessing it, loving it, receiving it back into what it truly is longing for, which is balanced presence. When we are unable to witness it, we become, the center of our awareness becomes usurped by that perspective. And rather than seeing it, we see from it. We live from within it. And the world appears filtered by that particular memory track. So through this practice, we strengthen organically our capacity to abide in loving awareness, in presence, as whatever arises, which it does as nature flows. The body-mind is part of nature. As seasons come and go, as thoughts and emotions move, we can be aware of them. And we can allow them to express themselves wisely, and we can also heal them wisely to the degree that we abide in that witnessing presence. That witnessing presence has a quality of spaciousness that allows everything to be as it is. And it also has a quality of profound and even infinite intimacy that allows us to infuse loving awareness into everything that we encounter. So as we meditate, we become aware of this presence more and more fully, and we become more and more sensitive to the arising of emotional triggers and traumas and imbalances. So we can meet them at their subtlest, most sensitive inner level and bless them and heal them there. We become aware of them first, as at the deepest level, as subtle somatic signatures, just the subtle rippling in the body of a contraction, of a sensation, of a tension. We can catch it at its subtlest level and turn towards it with loving awareness. So it doesn't have to hammer at the door, bang at the door to get our attention. We become aware of it. And if we don't catch it at the super subtle somatic level, we'll catch it next, perhaps, at its emotional level, where that somatic energy begins to ramify through our emotional body as various states, maybe of fear, of anger, of doubt, of hope, who knows. The list is huge. We catch it there, and we can apply witnessing awareness and loving presence to recognize there's an emotion that needs to be cared for within us and not have to react and act it out. If we don't catch it there, that emotional state might ramify into thoughts and movies, inner dialogue, internal narratives, thought forms, patterns of self-talk. And if we catch it there, we can recognize, oh, I'm not this thought, but this thought is a clue that there's an emotion and a deeper sensation and a deeper presence that needs to be brought. And if we don't catch it at the thought level, hopefully we notice it when it's just starting to become behavioral. You know, I have a good friend who said, when I start seeing my finger starting to wag at someone, I realize, oh, I'm already gone well down that sequence. I need to just stop, withdraw the finger, come back, breathe, pacify the thoughts, turn lovingly towards those emotions that have been stirred up, and resettle back center into the body with presence. wherever we notice the imbalance in that sequence is fine. It's a reflection of our current capacity to abide in balanced awareness. And that's something that we cultivate, strengthen, deepen through our spiritual practice, through our Kriya practice, day by day. And then, as the reactions arise, they're welcome, because there's a huge, spacious, loving container to meet them, to embrace them, and to bring them naturally back to that which they seek, which is wisdom, love itself.